Hey everyone, my name is Leigh. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching this video today. Now today's video is going to be a little bit more personal. I basically want to talk a little bit about a recap of 2022, where things are going in 2023, and I also want to give a little bit of an update on everything that happened on the recent vacation that I just went on. As you might have seen from my little community post, I very unfortunately caught COVID while we were on vacation, so I spent most of it very sick. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And of course, I live in Canada. It is actively snowing. We probably got a foot of snow last night. But in honor of my recent vacation, I'm wearing one of my favorite little sundresses. I get questions about this one all the time. It is from Aerie. Highly recommend keeping an eye on the Aerie website in like mid to late spring if you're looking for like really cute summery dresses. I have, I think, 2 or 3 from them now that are absolutely gorgeous and I wear them constantly, so highly recommend. Now in terms of the little vacation update, and I will include timestamps so you can skip ahead to whatever information you're interested in. Basically, my husband caught COVID for the first time. Neither of us have caught it since the pandemic started in 2020. He caught it for the first time a couple days before we left for vacation. Literally the only place we had been in the week before was to the grocery store and to the hardware store. We were wearing our masks both times. We have had our 2 main vaccines and 2 boosters each. We still got it. Super unfortunate. Now we had paid for the extra cancellation insurance for our trip to be extra sure that we did not have COVID when we went on this vacation, and that if we were feeling unsure we could cancel. You had to cancel 3 days before, and we were like just on that window when he caught it. We couldn't really cancel it. We ended up having to go anyways. So we made sure that we wore like really good N95 masks so that we didn't spread to anybody. We didn't take them off the entire time we were in the airplane, airport, traveling the entire time. The people that we went on vacation with, we went with another couple, they did not catch COVID, which is obviously very good. Now, I officially tested positive the Tuesday and we got there on Monday. I basically was sick for most of the trip. I didn't really start feeling better until the last day or the second last day. And one thing that I want to make really clear, like we made sure that if we were going indoors anywhere, even for like a minute, we had N95 masks. We were not like associating with other people. If we were going to a buffet style restaurant, as an example, we washed our hands before we went, used hand sanitizer, masked up any time that we were going near anything other people would touch, and we did our best to make sure that other people were safe. Unfortunately, the world does not have COVID protocols anymore. Mexico certainly didn't. Everything was canceled. It was very much they don't care, don't ask, don't tell. I would say 30%, maybe even more, of the people at that resort seemed like they had COVID or RSV or something. People were coughing and hacking openly, even inside places. So my recommendation would be, if you do not want to catch COVID, do not travel right now. This was our first time traveling in over 3 years. The last time we traveled was in 2019 to get married. There were so many sick people. As unfortunate as it was that we caught COVID, I can say I would have been so stressed thinking that I was going to get sick if I was not already sick. So if you are trying to avoid COVID, if you're immunocompromised, if you've already had it and you don't want to risk long COVID, traveling right now is probably not a very good idea. And there is a part of me that regrets traveling. Like I said, we would have lost basically all of our money, and this was an expensive vacation that we've saved for 3 years for. But being super sick on what's probably my only vacation now for the next few years sucked. Now, the resort that we stayed at, I could do an entire separate video with a review of that resort if anybody is interested, and I might do that maybe in shorter form video. It was very nice. The food was not it. The food was not great. It's no secret that I'm a vegetarian. Somebody that we went with has a pretty severe dairy allergy, and they were not very good at accommodating either of those things. The food was very much like meat, starch with maybe a tiny side of vegetables. Pretty much any restaurant for like a dinner option didn't really have stuff on the menu that we could eat. So that was very unfortunate. We went to Secrets Maroma if people are interested. But like I said, it was a beautiful resort. The rooms were great. The service was great. Every single employee that worked there was amazing. It's just literally that the menus are not very good at accommodating any type of food restrictions you have. And while I'm like a bit more used to that, I know that there are a lot of places that aren't going to have stuff for me. In Mexico in the past, I've found that they have a lot of like bean heavy cooking, and it's been very easy to get like tacos with just vegetables and beans on them, like a quesadilla. Here it was not like that. It was like steak, whole roasted piglet with like a side of potatoes. And that was it, and you couldn't be like, could I just have the potatoes? They weren't very good at accommodating. So that's something to keep in mind if you're planning on going there and you have any kind of dietary restriction. It was like that for everything. Like gluten-free would have been hard. If you were vegan, I would not recommend. They did not have anything that you could eat. They did have a little pizza oven by the pool, so we got pizza a few days, and that was very, very nice, but definitely a little bit rough on the food front, especially when you're super, super sick. And I tried to get soup one day. None of the soups had a non-meat option. Every single soup had meat in it. So very difficult, needless to say. Now, when we got home from vacation, I continued to test positive, which is why I ended up taking last week off as well. I was still quite sick. I basically tested positive for a week and a half. And I still have a lingering cough. I still can't hear out of one ear because it somehow got like really infected. And I definitely lost my sense of taste. So I'm slowly starting to get that back, but I cannot taste anything with mint in it, which is very weird. Anything mint tastes like fruit to me now. It does not taste like mint anymore. So obviously very unfortunate that we caught COVID. We were very, very disappointed. My husband originally was trying to like quarantine for me, so I didn't get it too, but then it was clear that I also had it. Super unfortunate circumstance all around. Overall though, good trip. Definitely marred by the fact that I was extraordinarily sick, could not swallow for pretty much the whole week. My throat was so swollen that I did not have a chin. My face basically just went straight down to my chest because my entire neck was just humongous. And I think by the end of the week, there were people who like didn't recognize me if they met me earlier in the week or if they saw me from afar because I looked so different. Like my whole bottom of my face and neck were so swollen from how sore and swollen my lymph nodes and my throat were. So quite bad. And I don't want to freak you out. Obviously, we're feeling much better now. It only lasted about like 2 weeks of symptoms for me, other than like the cough that I still have. But strongly encourage everybody to continue following best practices. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're wearing a mask if you feel sick in any way. I would encourage wearing a mask anyways, just in case, to even that small amount of extra chance that you don't catch something. Might be worth it. Get vaccinated if you're not already. Follow your common sense. Now, in terms of a little bit of a recap for 2022, this was the first year that I have been very, very consistently putting out a minimum of 2 to 3 sometimes videos per week on YouTube, with the exception obviously of if I'm on vacation or when I had COVID. Now, it has been a wonderful year. There are a lot of new people watching the videos and subscribing to the channel, and to all of you, I say hello, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I've tried a lot of different things this year. I've been experimenting a lot more with YouTube Shorts, which I think has been really fun, and I am hoping to continue posting very actively on YouTube Shorts throughout 2023. I do want to continue with the 2 video per week posting schedule for at least the foreseeable future. If that changes, I will, of course, make a post about that. I'll let you know. Something new for 2023, I've talked about it a few times, but I do officially want to start streaming on Twitch. I'm hoping to do 2 days per week to start, and we'll kind of see what comes from there. We'll see how I like it. I do have a tendency to be very shy, and I know in the past when I've been streaming, it sometimes can get a little bit overwhelming if I'm like trying to chat with a lot of people at the same time and I'm trying to like play a game and talk. But I really, really enjoyed doing it, and I like that it's a chance for people to kind of just pop in, even if it's for like 2 or 3 minutes, and ask a personal question. For me to ask how your day's going and for you to actually be able to respond. and to be able to actually have a real conversation. And I love that. And that was my absolute favorite part of it. My plan is to have it be super, super casual. I'll play a game. You can come in, you can talk to me about the game, about life, anything. Ask me about my favorite clothes. Happy to talk about that too, of course. Once I know what the tentative schedule will be, I will post a community post about that. So be sure to kind of check back if you're interested. And I'm planning on starting those streams probably the 2nd or 3rd week of January. Right now I'm thinking that I'll probably do like a Tuesday, Thursday in the afternoon type thing, maybe like 1 to 5 or something like that. If that time absolutely doesn't work for you, or if there's a different time that you would recommend, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I think for my schedule, it'd be easiest to do it like during the day, only because that's like when I'm in work mode. But I'm happy to look into other options as well, or doing maybe one weekday, one weekend day, something like that. Just let me know. Now in 2022, this became basically my full-time job, is making videos, making content, cross-posting on different social media channels, working with brands. And I have really, really liked that so far. I'm enjoying it. I want to continue pursuing that in 2023. Now, I've been very open and transparent about how much money I've made. And once again, you can go back and check out that video if you're interested. I think that I'll continue making videos like that every maybe like twice a year, or even once a year, just depending on how many updates there are, just to show you that like there are a lot of people who do this and maybe make a ton of money, more than you're expecting. And there are also a lot of people who probably do this as like a little part-time thing on the side of their job to make like an extra $100, $200 a month. And both of those experiences are totally valid. I think that there is a lot of, in my opinion, justified hate towards like career influencers who constantly are pushing you to buy specific really expensive things or to overconsume huge amounts, and who make literally millions of dollars doing that. I think a lot of times people like that can come across as being extraordinarily out of touch, and I hope that I do not come across that way. But if there ever comes a point that I do, let me know. I've been posting videos for many, many years, and only very recently did I ever get to a point where a brand even wanted to send me something for free, let alone even consider like paying me a commission amount or paying me anything for a video. More than 50 or 60% of the videos I post on this channel are still just things that I go out and buy with my own money for the purpose of a review. Occasionally it's stuff that companies send to me for free, like with no strings attached, where they're like, hey, here's this thing, review it or don't, we don't care. And then I think I've only ever had 1 or 2 things where a company was like, we will pay you, but it's stuff that I already knew that I liked and used. I don't think I will ever get to a point where I'm accepting like exorbitant sums of money to post a positive review about something. It's just not who I am as a person, and it doesn't really align with my ethics or values. But do know that if I ever am accepting money from somebody for the purposes of like doing a service or delivering a video, I will disclose that to you. I'm not going to be shady and try and hide it. In terms of content for next year, of course, we are still going to have lots of hauls. I also want to continue posting more like get ready with me style, more informal videos, and also a few more outfit of the day shorts, because people seem to really like those and I love them. I love getting a little bit of outfit inspiration every once in a while. I'm looking forward to seeing what some of my favorite brands are going to be releasing in the new year. Usually companies will do kind of like a big clear out on Boxing Day, and then they'll have new stuff in January. So I expect that I will be ordering a lot of stuff in January to do reviews like through January and February. As always, if there are any particular products that you see that you're like, is this worth my money? Or any brands that you see online that you're not sure about, please do feel free to send them my way. If it is a super sketchy company, I'm usually pretty good at sussing that out, finding information, and I'll just let you know, like, hey, don't order from them, it seems really sketchy. If I'm not able to ascertain if it's sketchy or not, I'm more than happy to try placing an order and just see what happens. Now, in previous years, one thing that you probably saw that I used to do a lot more frequently was hauls from more fast fashion-y places like Shein, Zaful, Bromley, those types of places. I did not do any of those in 2022. And that was by design, by choice. My opinion on those types of like ultra fast fashion places, especially Shein, because they are like the hugest one, has always been and always will be, there are some people who can only afford that. In particular, there are some plus size people who cannot shop at a thrift store because physically there are not things being donated that will fit them, and they cannot find stuff in a regular mall, or they cannot afford something in a regular mall. They're gonna go shop at Shein, find something beautiful that makes them feel amazing. I don't have an inherent problem with that. I do have an inherent problem with what I used to do, and I recognize that, which is thin, privileged people buying like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff at Shein, trying it all on, and maybe wearing 1 or 2 pieces regularly, and then the rest of it basically being like landfill, getting donated, and then somebody buying it for more than what you bought it from Shein. That feels very bad for me, so I will not be participating in that. I know that Shein has a lot of cute stuff because I have cute stuff from them, but I really do not believe in the ethos of the company and the extreme labor practices that they have that, in my opinion, are unethical and immoral. So I will not be shopping there. I will continue to have hauls from some of my favorite stores. I'm definitely going to be checking out what Aerie puts out in the new year. I know that NYX probably has lots of exciting stuff planned. They did so many releases this year. I'm excited to see what they do next year. We know that I have an absolute addiction to very cute bathing suits. In particular, this year was the year of the one piece. I'm thinking that I'm starting to get over the like always doing one piece kind of trend. And on my last vacation that I just came back from, I did gravitate towards bikinis a lot more. So I'm interested to see if next year will be the year of the bikini for me and see what cute new swim trends we're going to see. I'm really excited to see what things are trending in 2023 in the like fashion and clothing space. I've seen a lot of references to like lace, feathers, tassel, like very romantic inspired pieces. Also a lot of reference to like purples, which is great because I own a lot of purple already in my regular wardrobe. I do think that like super high-end sportswear as like everyday wear is going to be back. I do feel like it took a little bit of a back seat in 2022 because people were so bored of like only wearing leggings all throughout the worst days of the pandemic. I think a lot of that is going to be back in 2023, but as like more high-end, like streamlined, more monochromatic versus like the bright colorful sets that we used to see in the past. As always, I'm very interested in your trend predictions as well, so definitely let me know what you're thinking, what you think you might see. I follow a couple different people on TikTok that I think do really, really good trend analysis and that are very, very accurate and spot on their trend assessments that work in the fashion industry. So I'll be sure to link to a couple of those people as well because I think that it is fascinating and really interesting to watch. I'm really looking forward to next year. This year has been my best year mentally by far. Usually by this point in the season, I'm experiencing horrible seasonal depression. I feel terrible. This year has been like a breath of fresh air to realize what my life could be like if I wasn't in like survival mode every single day. And I think for so long I was in that mode. I would wake up in the middle of the night with my chest beating like 200 beats a minute, like panicking, freaking out, could never get back to sleep. I was living on like 2 or 3 hours a night to now. There are nights when I sleep 8 hours without ever waking up. I wake up feeling like refreshed and ready to tackle my day. I really want to emphasize here that for me, quitting my like a regular day job was one of the best things that I've ever done. And I think from somebody that has come from that, where I was constantly like so stressed, on the verge of tears at any time, any moment, like shaking in the middle of the day from like how stressed and anxious and sad and angry I was all the time. Coming from that to a place where I feel like at peace and relaxed, and I feel good with myself and where I am. And like some of that is therapy, some of that is having a career that I actually enjoy and that I feel valued in. Some of that is like trying to remove some drama from my life that I did not need to have, and like letting go of things that don't serve me. But coming from that place to this place, I want to really emphasize that like it is possible for your life to not be hell every single day. It is possible. And I know that when you're in the middle of it, it feels like you're never going to get out, and it feels like there's no possible way for things to get better for you. It is possible. Everybody deserves a chance to live life without fear, without crazy anxiety, without literally having insomnia every single day. And there are things that you can do to help your situation immediately, even before you get out of like a bad situation that you're in, or even before you're healed. There's steps that you can begin taking right away. And mine were baby steps in the beginning, and they involve things like cutting down on caffeine, which seems so trivial and bizarre, but helped so much. The little breathing activities that you can do to help you like in the moment. Taking some melatonin and magnesium supplements at nighttime to help you sleep, even if it helps you sleep 1 extra hour or 30 extra minutes. When you're only sleeping a couple of hours, it helps so much with just like your clarity of mind. And of course, for me, there were bigger things that I had to do as well. Ultimately, quitting the job that I had at the time was one of them. And that's not something that everybody is in a position to do at this exact moment. Process of doing your resume and making a cover letter and hunting for jobs and applying and interviewing is so daunting when you also can't do other things, which is why I think some of those smaller steps can help you get to a place where at least you can do that and feel more in control of your life and find a different job and get the hell out. I do also think it's worth noting that after I had already left that job and I was talking to a therapist, she recommended getting blood work, so I talked to my doctor. My doctor straight up was like, based on these experiences that you're having and like your physiological symptoms, you could have easily filed for like a stress leave type thing and been paid while you figured some of this stuff out. That could be an option for you as well. In Canada, you can just talk to your doctor about that. And I want to emphasize, like, I didn't do that because I didn't even realize it was an option. And I felt so much inherent guilt about like using the system. That's literally what those options are there for. When you're having a mental breakdown, that is what those are there for. And I think that it's important that we don't feel stigma or shame. And if you need to take a stress leave to save your life is worth more than like the money that your company is going to lose. It is. Your life is worth more than that. So essentially, all of this long-winded to say, take care of yourself. I know how bad things can get because I was there, like I was on the precipice of considering things that there is no way back from. I know how terrible and sad that can be. And with that, thank you very much for watching this video. Like I said, if you have anything that you want to see in 2023, if you have comments about the streaming thing, if you are feeling really stressed and you're looking for a couple of little tips, let me know down in the comments. I do want to give a gigantic thank you to everybody who has been with us since before 2022, everybody who's joined us in 2022. This has been an incredible year. Easily one of the best years that I've had in a very, very long time. And I'm hoping that 2023 is going to be just as good. My goals for the year will be growth, personal growth, growth on this platform, hopefully some monetary growth as well. And also just to stay doing things that make me happy. Because I think we are kind of brainwashed in the modern day world that working is by far the most important thing, and being good at your job is like a sign that you are a good and ethical person. Other things don't matter as much. And as for women, we basically have like, you're either a good employee or you're a good mom, or maybe you're both. And those are the only two things that matter. And I just don't buy into that. I think being, you know, a good partner, a good friend, a good daughter, a good sister are just as important as being a good mom or a good worker. And that all of my value as a human doesn't come down to whether I have a kid or whether I excel at a corporate job. So once again, Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have a fabulous whatever holiday you celebrate. I am not religious, but we do celebrate Christmas still, just as like a cultural thing. So I will be spending Christmas surrounded by my family, my friends, and I hope that you have a wonderful new year. I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2023, and hopefully this will be both of our best year yet. Thank you, and bye.